Now, as listeners of NGL know, I recently did an episode of this podcast 2 days after giving birth to my fourth child.
Mm-hmm.
But like you've said, fourth child isn't just another child. Throw them in the mix.
Child's play.
That's it. I thought it was pretty crazy at the time. And a bunch of our listeners were like, what are you doing here? And then I read that you called into your show.
Yeah.
The same day. The same day that you gave birth.
So it was brilliant timing on Lola's part. Okay. Brilliant timing, because I went into labor like 14 hours before. She was born on Father's Day, and the nurses came in with a Polaroid picture of my husband with his head in the bassinet, and she's got her hand around his finger, and they said, "There's a new woman in your husband's life." And I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, theoretically, I think I'm going to be able to call in, because they were like, if there's any way you can call in, that would be great. And sure enough, I called in and they said, "Oh, she's here." And I said, "Yeah, she's here. She's a girl. She's adorable." But it was so funny that she was such a good girl that she timed it just right for her to be announced during the show.
That was very sweet of her. Now, what was it like to make that phone call? Were you you were like, I can swing this because it's the second kid?
I think that nurses and the doctors were really excited because they were like, wait, we're going to be on TV? And I'm like, nobody's going to be on TV. My voice is going to be on a phone patched through a TV studio. But I think everybody was sort of excited to, just to know that they were calling into Regis, who was such a cultural icon in that moment. But it was amazing. And people were just, as you know, if you are in the public eye in any way, people are very generous and kind.
Yes.
And they really, my kids are, at the time when they were little, they didn't really understand the attention at all. But having grown up now and knowing that they have people that actively root for them. And, our oldest son is 28 years old. God. And he will meet people that will say, "I watched you grow up and I'm so happy for your life and your success." And it makes him feel really good because, when he was a little kid, he didn't understand what that meant. But as a fully fleshed out adult, he really gets it. And he's super appreciative for it.
Not creeped out.
Not creeped out. But when he was a little kid, he was super creeped out. But as an adult, he feels very
That's
grateful.
A good balance, though.
Yeah.
That they're a little skeptical when they're young and then a little stranger danger.
It's a good balance, stranger danger. We sort of were very always matter of fact about it. We never treated it like it was a weird thing or a creepy thing. And we did make the distinction of strangers versus strangers when you're with your parents.
Yes.
So there was like a very big difference. Like, yes, these are people we don't know, but they're very kind people. You're with mom and dad, you're safe. And because of these very nice people, we get to have very nice experiences. We get to have very nice life. We are on a nice trip because of these very nice people who watch mom and dad.
That's very nice to think of it as just clean, honest.
Yeah. And I think they felt gratitude. And having said that, they also knew not to talk to strangers when they were not with mom and dad.
that is a key point. The key
was like making that distinction. Like, you are with mom and dad, and so you are safe.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and push that.
Yeah.